And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the third and final video in this best of three series between LiquidHuK, spawning as the Protoss player in the top right position, against Jimpo of Team Inferno Esports. Down in the bottom right is the Red Terran. Anaris here. What a fantastic series we have seen so far. Jimpo executing a brilliant fake out on Metalopolis, securing an early victory in game number 1. Huck coming back, game number 2 on Tal'Darim Altar, bringing the Rally Hearts, bringing the TL Pylons, and just making it happen. Bringing it to Tide Series here today. And now we're going to conclude this on Shakura's Plateau. I'll tell you what, all bets are off. I mean, this map, I feel like it's a good compromise between what we've seen so far. Obviously, Jimpo does enjoy that early pressure and found some success catching Huck off guard on Metalopolis. But, you know, Huck is going to be really looking to use this cross-position spawn to the fullest extent that he can. We'll wait and see exactly what build he's going to be doing. We'll see so far, he's not going to be going with a Forge Fast Expand, opting for the Gateway and the Pylon in the top. Okay. That's pretty standard, perfectly normal. Nothing really to give away what we're going to see from either player thus far. Pretty much the first indicator we'll be watching from the Terran player specifically. It's the gas timings, or even the presence of gas. So far, he's at 14 supply now, and nothing just yet. So, it means we could be seeing like a 1 Rax expand, or something like that, kind of depending on what he scouts out from his opponent. But we do want to point out that already Jimpo has not sent out an SCV to scout yet. So he's flying into this game blind as we approach the 3-minute mark. The Protoss player edging closer and closer towards that Cybernetics core. Once he gets that Stalker, there will be no more scouting for the Terran player unless he decides to dump energy on a comsat, and really, why would you do that? At least at this point in the match series. So now, Huck coming up, okay, there's the barracks, there's the command center, everything's looking good. Look at the money right now. That, yep, sure enough, 1 Rax expand as Huck's just realizing, okay, well, I'm probably not going to be facing any serious pressure. You see, he just barely got vision of the gas, enough to know what's going on. And, of course, there's that command center going down now for Jimpo. Meanwhile, up in the Protoss space, we see Cybernetics core just now finishing up here, and also that second assimilator coming, which of course Jimpo is going to spot that out, managing to get that SCV up here just in the nick of time. About 20 seconds later, would have been taken out, but good for him. Good for him. Huck, of course, moving away with the minerals that he stole, because he is just a little sniper like that. Bunker going down as well. So I think we're going to be lining up indeed for a good, solid macro match here. Not like in game number 1 where we had, again, that fake out where it's like, okay, I'm going to predict a macro match, cross positions on Metalopolis. I mean, what could really go wrong? Oh, Jimpo, just kidding, you know. So I think this is going to be the real deal here, and this is exactly what I was hoping for to conclude this series. A good old-fashioned, long, drawn-out, intense brawl between these two giants. Now, LiquidHuK continuing to scout out, pretty much just looking for anything that happens to be lying around here. You know, any chance of any proxy barracks or any forces just hanging around back there. He may decide to expand there later on at some point. As a matter of fact, I would say it's extremely likely, rather, unless he decides to pull off some type of 2-base play here. But, you know, that'll be later on down the road. Kind of also depends on what Jimpo goes for, which we're going to start seeing the strategies coming to fruition here in just a second. Looks like he's going to be leaning towards that bio play, which, I mean, would be pretty standard, you know, against Protoss, late game, Marauder, Viking, a few medevacs mixed in there, some ghosts for sure, and you're pretty much just going to be profiting there. So, of course, Jimpo is going to have to adjust to whatever Huck decides to go for. Huck, a very aggressive player. He enjoys the drops. He enjoys Blink Stalkers in particular. See him use those to great effect, so I would not be surprised if we saw that again continuing in this match. Taking a look at the income as we just passed the 6-minute mark, we can see both players are somewhat even. Of course, the Mule's pushing them ahead. 24 to 26 in the Harvester count right now. As far as Chronoboost go, you see he's actually saved up for them. I'm a little curious to see what he's going to be doing. Is he saving it for the robotics facility? No, he's going to be saving it and using it on his economy instead. So pretty interesting that those are saved up, but nonetheless, not that huge of a deal. There's the probe transfer, so we're going to see that economy kick into high gear in just a minute for both players, as I'm going to be looking to see what he gets from this robotics facility first. Is he going to go observer first? That's most likely, unless he feels like he's going to be facing some pressure. You know, you're generally going to go ahead and want to get out that scouting unit first, but not really seeing anything in the way of pressure. We have HuK trying to basically contain the scout / double expand here. I mean, really, it's unlikely to happen at this stage of the game, but still, any time that you can deny an SCV leaving your opponent's base, you reduce the risk of anything happening later on involving that, whether it be simply the SCV coming up here and scouting, which we could see would not be very easy. Plenty of sentries, so we see a lot of that gas has indeed been dumped towards that defensive play here, anticipating very minimal resistance at this point in the game. We see still running on 3 gateways, now 5, 2 additional ones just dropped a second ago. Looks like it's going to be 6 as well. A second observer. I mean, really, I think that's a good call. Uh-oh, this poor Stalker. Fortunately, the concussive shells upgrade is not yet complete. Did not matter, though, as this kill team is going to be looking to basically clear out the map. Is there anything at the watchtowers? No? Okay, continue on. Take out things like this probe. This poor probe just happens to be running wrong place, wrong time. That kind of job needs to be left for an observer, which you see is just putt-putting right along. Literally, he's got a little putt-putt driver, and he's just, you know, riding it across the map. But as far as income now goes, 41 to 42, so still relatively close on the harvester count. And again, HuK looking to move out and do some damage with these Stalkers. Not really looking to be super aggressive, but looking to, again, take off like, okay, the Marine that was sitting there at the watchtower, is there one up here? And once he sees this, he's going to be like, all right, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and fall back. So we can expect to see the Stalker harassment become a little bit more aggressive as the Blink upgrade comes, which is pretty much what we can assume is going to be coming from this Twilight Council here. Forge going down as well, so looking to secure some of those upgrades. Definitely a good call for HuK to do that. Oh man, very close, just so very close, inches away from running half of his units into a bunch of Marauders. Fortunately for him, though, having all these sentries bringing along in his brought along in his party, able to basically sandwich off half the Terran forces and eat them for lunch, leaving, well, let's take a look. We have 7 Marauders and 7 Marines, as the 8th one just, I think, died there a second or two ago. But anyways, it's 12 Stalkers, 5 sentries, not the best force for fighting an uphill battle and a choke point against a bunch of Marauders with medevacs, but still, they can maybe poke and prod, do a little bit of damage. That's going to be about it there. That Guardian Shield is definitely going to be crucial. We see drop delayed there as the SCV is not able to reach the bunker in time. It does go down. The Stalkers continuing to press in here, sandwiching off even more units, forcing the SCVs to run ahead, actually. Look at that, just one giant blob of infantry. Even the mule running around like, seriously, what am I doing in here? One of these units is definitely not like the others. This poor mule needs to get back to work, as Jimpo is just like, alright, well, okay, there we go. Finally sending that back to the kitchen there. So we do have a factory landing down. Maybe we'll see a Hellion or 2 harassment. You know, unit just trying to pop into the mineral line. Obviously, it won't be that effective with several Stalkers here parked, and also HuK. Ooh, nice little ninja expansion back here behind the factory. Of course, this will be taken out. I don't believe HuK actually knows it's there. Nope, so just got a little bit close and then started attacking it. So now that that has been discovered, I do want to point out HuK has exceptional observer placement here. The fact that he has managed to sneak this observer right here into the base, and not only that one, but also a second one, which will allow him to see that dropship heading out. So he should be able to respond to this attack without too much difficulty. If sure enough, there we go. The Stalkers already, it looks like, in the rally path for that dropship. So that attack is not going to go very well for Jimpo. But let's take a look here at the main. We do have, or the natural for Jimpo, we do have him possibly moving out again. There are those observers getting that crucial information. And let's see, does Jimpo actually know that expansion is there? No, he does not, but it's pretty likely that he has a good idea that something's going to be going over there fairly soon. Of course, HuK continuing to scout out, looking for that. And here comes the dropship. What's going to happen? Is he going to lose it? Oh no, he's going to! All those Marines just dropping into the little watery area down below. Oh, what a tragedy. So, now, income, 61 to 59. Still looking pretty darn close. Let's look at the units tab and see we do finally have some ghosts in the field. Going to be building up that energy, looking to not engage just quite yet. Definitely would not be a good time to do so. But 21 Marines, 10 Marauders, that's pretty good. We see there's a lot of Zealots here, though. A lot of Stalkers and the High Templar. Those could be absolutely crucial. Not only for the Psystorm, but if they can land some good feedbacks, then, oh man, that's just going to be game for the bio-heavy force that we see so far. Missile turret going down primarily for detection, I mean observers, and also we're getting to the point where Dark Templar harassment is going to be effective in the expansion denial, and I believe that's what we're looking at this proxy pylon here for, as a Dark Shrine just went down a brief time ago, I think. I could have swore I saw it. Yeah, right there in the natural expansion. And so you see, there we go, the DT giving away its presence there. Marauder hanging out down here as well, just barely able to take out that Stalker. Unfortunately for him, stabbed in the back. This guy is making a clean getaway here. 2 kills. Will he be able to pop off this SCV building the turret? Yes, he... Oh, so close to the dodge at the last second. Oh, he didn't even kill the SCV. So very close, so very close. But HuK is looking for a strong response here. The Terran has excellent position between those buildings and the minerals. So, yep, definitely a good idea for HuK to just pull back there and let that be. Continuing on letting the Stalkers do his dirty work, definitely don't blame him for that. But what we do have, the Zealots drawing away attention. Unfortunately for HuK, those SCVs are already there. They're going to be able to repair, and with that planetary fortress going down, it's going to be a good time for Jimpo's third base. Now, nice feedback, taking on a lot of the ghosts. Unfortunately for HuK, he was able to... Jimpo was able to knock off a good EMP, landing on the High Templar. Did not do enough damage, though. So we see a lot of energy still on those 2 High Templar. There's the blink at the very last second, protecting those last 2 on the field, which you can see still have a decent bit of energy there. But with the Stalkers pressing forward, he's only going to be able to do so much. As we look back at the natural, see things are looking pretty quiet here. Same thing for the main with HuK. We have that robotics bay going down, a second forge as well. Look at the army size, or the supply size. There's almost a 20 supply difference there. Or there will be. Maybe here in the future, I don't know. I guess I just overly miscalculated, but things are still looking pretty good for both players. I think it could go either way, but look at that, man. Now 160 to 182, 22 supply difference there. As the Stalkers, once again, you see he's keeping them separate from the army. He's looking for opportunities like this right here. If he can come in, pop off a Ghost, pop off a Medevac, Marine or 2, anything to just whittle down the forces and make these Stalkers just earn their keep there. But you see, Jimpo, he's got the right idea. Doesn't want to overcommit any, large chunk of forces, just enough to drive the Stalkers back. And look at this now, Psystorm's going to be landing on top of the infantry. Nice catch there, taking out a lot of Marines, really reducing the firepower in this army. But these Ghosts are way far apart as the High Templar gets sniped off there by the Groot. There's still plenty of energy here left on these Ghosts. So, HuK, what's a guy to do, man? Really, he's doing everything he can. Spreading out as, oh, nice blink there, catching the Ghost. Jimpo not quite ready for that one. As you see, he just keeps it there, fighting for his life. Again, nice spread by HuK. Pushing forward, the Zealots actually hanging back here, except for a few. Again, HuK not really, oh no, sitting in all these High Templar to their death. Oh no. Poor HuK losing those. Some nice kills here for Jimpo. You see he does land a sexy EMP blast on top of all the Zealots, effectively bringing those out of the picture, at least for the time being. He wants to get those shields charged at least a tiny bit. There's perfect force fields going down. Nice surround by the Zealots. Stalkers blinking at the last second. Oh man, finally the Zealots taking out all those forces. Forced to actually run around just for a second or two there. Oh, wow. Jimpo still looking pretty good. 142 to 127. HuK forced to fall back to his natural expansion. Drop down a couple force fields. They're a little bit overlapping, though. If he had placed them there and there, they would have been able to block off that ramp, which I think is what he really wanted to do. But now we do have a Colossus here. He's going to have to guard that thing with his life if he wants to stay in this. Oh, man, so close. Don't lose the Colossus, HuK. Yes, I'm probably giving a little bit of bias towards the Protoss this game, and I apologize for that. It just comes with myself playing Protoss, kind of understand things a little bit better. But, you know what, as I said in my New Year's resolution, I am trying to become a little bit more analytical, have a better understanding of the game, and so Terran will receive the love, I promise you, as time goes by. Now, Jimpo looking like he's going to be doing a dual-pronged attack. We do have one drop here in the main base, which unfortunately for Jimpo, whoa, nice unloading the Ghost there, but he is going to be taking out another expansion here while HuK is preoccupied. Couple upper Archons here at the top. That's going to be about it. It's worth it. Just go ahead and save those for now, as these Zealots warping in too close to the front, going to be taken out by Jimpo, at least knocked off the shields there, as the Vikings come in as well, looking for any Colossi that he can find. Will he find any, though? Yes, he will. Find two of them there, one of which actually might get taken out. Oh, no. HuK losing one, possibly two here. Focus fire on it, maybe even three as it goes down. The shields are gone. We see the attack is continuing here. HuK just standing to lose more and more as the last Colossus is just, oh, so close. Saved by the skin of his... I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. So now the probes are having to come out here and fight. Not a good position to be in right now. Let's look at the income, see how that's affecting it. 64 to 64 right now, but look at the money, man. We see that Jimpo working with a solid 2 bases worth of income. Of course, his natural starting to get mined out here, so we can expect to see him take a fourth in the coming moments. Command center just finished. Army size, though, 131 to 117. Look at the big difference there. The minerals invested into that. And, of course, still 64 harvesters apiece. Units tab, 2 Archons, 3 Colossi. So he's got the heavy hitters. He's got the good damage absorber there as well. He doesn't have any... Well, he doesn't have a lot of Zealots. Not going to have those tanks. Those are absolutely crucial when you're running this type of build. You don't want the enemy to be able to make a beeline directly to the Colossi. You know, start working on the Archons as well. Of course, you want those Zealots to be absorbing a lot of the damage as the SCVs are fighting for their life. That poor defenseless Zealot, I don't call it defenseless per se, but compared to what he's fighting up against right now, oh, he does fall to the might of the Terran SCV. 2 armor, 3 weapons upgrade for the Terran player. Looking at the Protoss, we can see 3 armor, no weapons. He has had to cut a little bit of money, I suppose, to keep up with production here, but he does have weapons 1 on the way. Now, I think he actually has double forge as well. There's 1, there's 2, yep. So the second one is just not being used at this point. As Terran, it looks like he is going to be having a commanding lead here in the middle of the map. 160 supplied to 148. Do have another drop heading over towards the main, while HuK continues his harassment here. Uh-oh, we could have a storm in the mineral line. High Templar looking to make it happen. SCV has clumped up together. Oh, no! Jimpo losing so many workers there. Just take a look at that as it takes place. 28 to 18 so far in this matchup. Income been reduced significantly down to 47 harvesters as Protoss HuK looking like he's going to regain the lead in terms of mineral income. There goes that proxy pylon, though. Yep, really looking to just limit that. But will this one be able to get a side storm? Yes, it does at the very last second. Unfortunately for him, the Zealots run into it, and really not a lot of damage was done to the Marauders. But as far as production goes, he's continuing with the Colossi. There are a decent number of Vikings running around here. We could see 3 of them, or 4 to be exact. Apparently a 5th one is floating around as well. As far as that drop goes, we see it's done a little bit of damage. Oh no, the Colossus spawned right on top of it. It should be able to take out the drop, and completed. Unfortunately for him, for HuK though, he did lose power on these 3 gateways, so he does have a couple additional pylons warping back in, hoping to save the day in that regard. So now we need to watch and see what HuK's response is going to be next. He's got to watch his expansions. That's the important thing. You know, he did lose some mining time. That's the most important part at this point in the match. We can just see the economy that both players are now quadruple digits for the minerals, and sitting around 400, 500 gas as well, back up to 61 harvesters apiece. But the army for the Terran player is looking pretty darn good. He's got a good number of ghosts here, actually 8 or so. So not really worried too much about feedback. He's going to have plenty of energy for EMPs to landing on these groups, even though they're spaced out like they are right now. And sure enough, here we go, landing 1 EMP, 2, knocking out the Stalkers, the Zealots, the Archons, looking to continue that even more, pushing the Protoss player up in the high ground. So now he's going to have to declump himself, rather, to get out of that Psystorm. Oh, wow. Look at the EMP actually landing on top of the Ghost there. Oh, no. Definitely not something you want to have happen. But speaking of things you don't want to have happen, losing the Colossi, oh, so very close to having one go down. Very expensive units, really do not want to be losing those. At this point, we could see this expansion is looking good for Jimpo. Everything's all looking good down here as well. This one's looking pretty solid. Got some nice cannon defense. And, of course, we do still have that dropship sitting out here for Jimpo, waiting for the units that will never return. Poor dropship. I suddenly feel really bad for it now. But HuK looking like he's going to be going on the offensive here. Oh, taking a couple free shots from the Terran player. He's going to be falling back here, letting the Vikings try to pick off a Colossi. One will, oh, almost go down. Yep. So very close to losing a second one. There's, oh, High Templar lost at the last second there as well. Continuing to snipe out the Colossi. He sees those Stalkers are way ahead. So Jimpo is going to take that opportunity, but whoa, clutch blink, coming in, popping off those Vikings, keeping them away just for any length of time that he can. But you watch the supply gap, it's growing even wider. There's now a 30 foods gap between these two players, as he's going to be losing all of the Colossi here, all except for 2 that are just running across the map back towards the Protoss base, as Terran takes a commanding lead midfield, 173 to 124 in the supply. That's a huge gap now. It's really going to be, pressure is on for HuK to close that gap very quickly, or else he could possibly lose this match here, and in doing so, lose the whole series. We'll wait and see in the coming moments what's going to happen as Jimpo takes another expansion down here, securing the top right position, really leaving the expansions here in the middle are the only ones. These ones, of course, are a little bit more exposed than the ones that have already been claimed here, and Jimpo basically knows that. He knows if he can hold this expansion, this one up here, deny the continued income, gain an advantage in that regard, then he is going to be able to effectively seal the deal here. But we've got Weapons 3 on the way for the Protoss player. We can, of course, see Jimpo still sitting at 2 and 3, and he's not working on anything for the mechanical upgrades right now. But looks like these Zealots are going to go ahead and just commit themselves to attacking those Marauders. As you see all the Ghosts are so cloaked running around. Uh-oh, Colossi running directly into the Vikings. Definitely not something we're going to have happen here. Stalkers coming in, trying to defend their brethren. Doing so to an extent, but we have more Psystorms landing on top of the Marauders. Uh-oh, HuK losing this expansion could be a crucial loss here. It will go down. Losing that income is going to be a devastating blow here, as even though the infantry are all going down, HuK is still suffering some losses here as well. The Vikings doing their thing against the Colossi. HuK just losing so much in this fight. He should be able to wrap up this attack, but at what cost, man? You see Jimpo's income right now is just so awesome. And HuK's, well, he doesn't have a lot of gas coming in. His minerals not looking that much better. And he's effectively running off of one and a third bases here. Long distance mining, 111 to 99 right now. 5 medevacs, 8 Marauders, whole bunch of Marines against what we have right here. Jimpo just build up for a couple minutes and he will be set. But, you know what, man? If the Protoss can really pull something out of his hat, then, I mean, he still is a chance that he could. We do, of course, have a medevac just running around here. Going to be taken out by HuK. We saw a good opportunity to do exactly that. So as far as the production tab goes back, we do have one Colossus Weapons 3 just about complete, so that's good. And HuK is able to rebuild that Nexus. So the big problem is, without that additional income, and you see this mineral field here is severely depleted, this is going to be the only source of income here for HuK, as we see this one for Jimpo looking solid, this one just looking unimaginably fresh. Looks to continue putting on the pressure here. Really, this is his only option to stay in this game. He's got to find some way to limit Jimpo's income, severely diminish his army's capability of continued harassment, and buy himself enough time to just stay in this. But with a 50 supply gap, time is ticking, and HuK is just more and more in an inferior position. You see trying once again to blink up, pick off a Stalker. Any damage that he can do will be worth it, but with another one on the way to replace this one, even if it does fall, HuK realizes, okay, I'm just going to try to pick off some of the forces on the outskirts. It's interesting, though, that he's not really able to affect any serious damage up here in the top. With the presence of the Planetary Fortress, he could come in and try to sidestorm this, but again, he would have to commit a lot to it, and really he isn't at a good point in the game to do that. Sensor tower going down here in just a moment. We'll see exactly where that is at. Might be... Nope, okay, looks like it's going to be good, solid, defendable position way back there as HuK continues. I mean, really, this is what HuK is all about. Just continuing the pressure, even though he is essentially in an inferior position right now. He is still trying to do everything he can to get himself any advantage possible, and that includes blink harassment. And here comes the High Templar once again, hoping to do a nice side storm or two. You see, this ball is just asking for storm blanketry. Is that even proper? I don't really care at this point, because what is proper does not really matter here, as we're going to have a nice epic fight here in just a moment. The natural expansion does go down. Not a massive loss, although the loss of the gas will certainly hurt. You see that the ghosts are running around cloaked, still looking for a good opportunity to EMP. Don't really have a lot of energy left, but time is definitely running out here for HuK. His days are indeed numbered. Jimpo has the high ground advantage, and we don't see any Colossi here running around. Just a few High Templar, one Archon, one DT, which I'm not even entirely sure where that's at. I think it's just hanging around somewhere midfield, with Jimpo just wrecking HuK's base. I really think that we're going to see a GG here coming in a few moments from HuK. 36 minutes into the game, 179 and 111. You see, there's that DT just running around, second one coming in as well. And there are the snipes coming as well. Jimpo looking like he's going to be able to finish up this army and continue doing damage to HuK's base. 164 to 72. Oh, he is just, man, HuK is just hoping for a miracle here as he is hanging on, chrono boosting out the Zealots and the DTs. Whatever he can do at this point, he is going to try to push it through now. But with fresh reinforcements on the way coming from Jimpo, I don't see this as a victory for HuK at all. There's no way, no how. It's just a matter of time for him to call that GG. So now we go with another War Prism going down, yet another venue for harassment denied there. HuK gives the GG and brings the series to a close. 2-1 for Jimpo of Team Inferno. Congratulations for him to taking out the Protoss player himself. So that's going to wrap up the series, guys. Thank you again for watching. Stay tuned for more. And of course, as a reminder for those of you who've been watching my Mass Effect 2 series, it is on my second channel. You can find a link in the video description. I just uploaded a video today, I think it's August 10th. Yeah, where we rescue Archangels, so that is there. Also, if you're not following my Facebook, you can check that out. I post updates for that, Mass Effect 2, StarCraft 2, etc. And I think that's all I've got. So subscribe to my second channel, follow the Facebook, and if you like this video, let me know. Leave a comment, thumbs it up. All right, guys, I'm out.